A dangerous killer trapped her to reveal information about her mentor.
And all you have to do is hand over your boy Caleb.
He wanted to steal breeds of her mentor, not realizing what she will do to protect her guard father on that day.
How did you find me?
Welcome back to Paramount Recapped. I don't have many subscribers, but your single comment is a ray of hope to motivate me.
Wherein is coming by?
They're here. Get your gun. Now.
The story kicks off with a woman named Delilah, who's not just your average person. She's a CIA agent who goes by the codename Banshee. Right from the start, things are messy. She's in a serious meeting with her boss, another senior agent, talking about something huge. Her own dad, Jeremy, and his buddy Caleb got accused of pulling something shady during an old mission. Apparently, they were blamed for leaking top-secret American info to Russian operatives. The CIA didn't take it lightly. They brought in a heavy hitter named Anthony Green, a guy with a special forces background, and gave him the job of taking care of the problem. That problem meant eliminating both Jeremy and Caleb. When Green made his move, Jeremy ended up dead. Caleb somehow slipped through and disappeared, and no one's been able to find him since. Even though years have passed, the agency still has him on their radar. What makes it complicated is that Jeremy was Delilah's dad, and now some folks at the CIA are side-eyeing her, thinking she might be hiding her own secrets just like him. Her boss isn't convinced she's clean either. Sick of the accusations and fed up with not knowing the truth, Delilah quits. She walks away from the agency with a mission of her own. She's going to dig into what really happened to her father and clear his name, or at least find out if he was guilty. Fast forward 5 years, and Delilah's left the spy games behind, kinda. Now she's a contract killer, working with a super smart tech guy named Kronos who helps her pull off tricky missions. He's the brains behind the scenes, and she's the one doing the dirty work on the ground. They make a killer team, no pun intended. On one of her missions, Delilah shows up expecting the usual, sneak in, do the job, get out, but things go sideways fast. She finds out that the person she's supposed to eliminate has already been captured by none other than Anthony Green and his squad. She's completely thrown off. She tries to talk it out with Green, asking him to let the guy go. Green refuses, but makes her a deal. If she tracks down Caleb and brings him in, she'll get $1 million, which just happens to be the same price she was supposed to get for the mission anyway. But there's a huge problem. Caleb isn't just some random fugitive to Delilah. He's one of her closest friends, almost like family. So there's no way she can betray him like that. Green doesn't like being told no, so he orders his men to take her out instead. Delilah barely manages to get out alive, handling a few of Green's men along the way. With Kronos feeding her real-time info on the bad guy's movements, she escapes. While driving home later, Delilah starts thinking about the old days, her dad, Caleb, the training, the memories. That's when she decides enough is enough. If Green's coming after her and Caleb's still out there hiding, maybe it's time to team up again and take Green down together. She hits up Kronos and tells him to start digging for Caleb's location. Kronos works his digital magic and soon finds Caleb. Turns out he's living off the grid in a quiet town and working a local bar. Not exactly the high-stakes life he used to lead. Delilah heads there and walks in on Caleb mid-shift. She gives him the lowdown. Green's still after him, and now she's involved too. She wants him to help her end it once and for all. Later that evening, Caleb invites Delilah over to his house. He lives there with his daughter Haley, who's been through a lot since her mom passed away. When Delilah arrives, Haley is anything but friendly. She even pulls a gun on her, thinking she's some kind of threat. Caleb quickly steps in to calm things down and brings Delilah inside. Meanwhile, back at Kronos' place, he's just chilling and playing online poker when Green and his thugs burst in. They threaten him and force him to help them track down Delilah and Caleb. With no real choice, Kronos agrees, though it's clear he doesn't want to betray them. Back at Caleb's, they sit down for dinner. Haley's still suspicious of Delilah and starts grilling her with all kinds of questions. It gets awkward fast. Caleb eventually tells Haley to go to her room so the adults can talk. Once they're alone, Delilah asks about the day her dad died. Caleb doesn't want to get into it. He tells her that if she really wants answers, she should ask Green directly. Even though she's frustrated, Delilah doesn't push it. Caleb explains that he doesn't want to get involved because of Haley's safety. Instead, he hands her some old document from their CIA days. The papers detail a mission involving Jeremy, Caleb, and a rich woman who was being targeted by a mafia gang. At first, Caleb hadn't wanted to help her, but when he realized the woman was carrying sensitive information, he agreed to protect her. Back in the present, Delilah spends the night going through the files. She starts to wonder if maybe her dad didn't actually die that day. Could he have faked his death and gone underground? Caleb swears he's gone, but refuses to explain how he knows. He insists that Green has the answers. The next morning, Haley shows up and Caleb gets ready for work. He tells Delilah to keep an eye on Haley and warns her that Green's men could show up at any time. Sure enough, Green and his squad, with Kronos' reluctant help, are already on their way. As Delilah continues flipping through the documents, she learns more about the mission with the wealthy woman and how she was eventually handed over to the CIA for better protection. But none of that helped her figure out how or why her father really died. Feeling overwhelmed, she takes a break and finds a photo album full of pictures of Caleb and Haley she's never seen before. She stares at the smiling faces, lost in thought, knowing the storm is about to hit their doorstep. While Delilah was flipping through some old family photos, Haley showed up out of nowhere, clearly still suspicious. She didn't buy Delilah's story and wanted to know what she was really doing in their home. Delilah, trying to keep things calm, told her she wasn't there to cause any harm. Not to Haley and definitely not to her dad, Caleb. At the same time, back at the bar where Caleb was working, something felt off. A few shady-looking guys walked in, and one of them looked very familiar. Too familiar. Caleb realized this wasn't a coincidence. One of the men was part of Green's crew. Without wasting time, Caleb quickly called Delilah to warn her. He told her to be on alert because he was pretty sure those men might be headed to the house. Once he ended the call, Caleb locked up the bar and went straight to confront the suspicious group. Back at the house, Delilah had just finished talking to Caleb when she spotted several men heading their way. They were armed and looked ready for trouble. She immediately told Haley to hide somewhere safe inside the house. Delilah knew she had to stall the intruders until Caleb could make it back. She braced herself, hoping to buy enough time. Meanwhile, Caleb was fighting off the guys at the bar. He handled himself well, but he was worried about what might be happening at home. And rightfully so. Despite Delilah putting up a good fight, there were just too many of them. A couple of Green's men managed to break into the house and even found where Haley was hiding. Just when things looked like they were going to take a terrible turn, Caleb burst in like a storm. He managed to save Haley, but not without a cost. In the chaos, he was shot in the chest. After taking out the remaining attackers, Delilah found Haley kneeling next to Caleb, who was bleeding badly. It was a heartbreaking moment. Caleb wasn't just an old friend to Delilah. He had been her mentor, the one who taught her everything she knew about fighting and survival. He had trained her into the tough assassin she had become. Before taking his last breath, Caleb made Delilah promise to look after Haley. He asked her to teach the girl how to protect herself, especially now that Green's men knew who she was. With Caleb gone, she would likely be next on Green's list. Later on, Delilah sat with Haley and explained everything she knew about Caleb's past. He used to be with the CIA, but things went south. The agency turned on him, forcing him to disappear and live a life in hiding. Delilah shared that she, Caleb, and her own father, Jeremy, had all been accused of selling out the CIA by handing over classified nuclear codes to the Russians. The link to a rich woman they were protecting during a mission made it all seem real, even if they were innocent. The CIA didn't want to take any chances. They sent a team, led by Green, to take Caleb and Jeremy out and recover the stolen data. The agency was terrified those secrets could go public. Delilah had been in danger ever since, and now Haley was in the crosshairs too. Delilah admitted to Haley that she was seriously outmatched and didn't have the firepower to defend herself properly. That's when Haley showed her something surprising. Caleb had a hidden room loaded with weapons. Guns, gear, gadgets, everything they'd need. With that discovery, Delilah felt like maybe they stood chance. One day, while they were making plans and talking through what to do next, something unexpected happened. Green showed up with his men. Things got intense real fast. Delilah and Haley scrambled to come up with a plan while outside. Green's team sent up a drone to scout the house using thermal imaging. The drone only picked up one person inside, so they assumed Delilah was alone. Green then stepped out of the vehicle with Chroma as a hostage. But instead of using him for leverage, Green coldly shot him, claiming he was useless. Inside, Delilah had her gun aimed at Green, ready to end everything. But something held her back. The truth about her father's death was still locked away, and Green might be the only one who could confirm it. While Green stayed outside watching, he sent his team to move in. But Delilah was ready. She fought back hard as they tried to break into the house. Haley, even though she was new to this kind of thing, picked up a weapon and joined in from the upper floor. Despite not being trained for combat, she held her ground and helped keep the intruders out. Their teamwork was surprisingly solid. They moved in sync, backing each other up and keeping Green's people on their toes. From his car, Green was shocked. He couldn't believe Delilah and a teenager were giving his men such a tough time. Frustrated, he ordered 2 of his younger female agents, who clearly didn't have much experience, to go inside and try to surprise the girls. The agents pushed in and ended up clashing with Haley upstairs, while Green himself finally came in and went after Delilah. It was rough. Delilah was almost outmatched, struggling to hold her own. Just when things were starting to look really bad for her, Haley stepped in again. She took the shot and hit her mark. Green went down, ending the chase once and for all. With the chaos finally over and Green's threat eliminated, Delilah and Haley were left breathing heavy but alive. They had fought hard and earned that victory. But Haley wasn't done. Still burning with anger over her dad's death, she looked at Delilah and asked her to teach her everything she knew. She didn't just want to survive, she wanted to be ready. And Delilah, remembering the promise she made to Caleb, agreed.